Hi guys, welcome to our channel LA Media Cipta. This time, we will do a fishery tour workpacker to Bawean Island to take part in the fishermen gathering on Gili, Bawean Island held by the Gresik Regency Fisheries Service. Bawean Island is an island that is famous for its beauty. In this trip, we started from the port of Gresik to take the Marine Express ship. We will discuss a lot about the beauty and commodities of marine products and the travel that is so beautiful, as well as various fisheries-based natural resources. For more details, watch this video and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell to get notification. Our journey starts from Gresik Harbor. Before leaving, we and our entourage from the Gresik Regency Fisheries Service had to register first by buying tickets and doing a boarding pass. The fleet that we chose is Express Bahari with the aim of Bawean Island. We chose the departure time at 9 AM. Gresik Bawean takes approximately 4 hours to reach Bawean Island. Bawean Island does not have an entrance ticket. Entrance tickets are only charged at tourist attractions on the island. What is certain is that visitors must provide a budget to cross to the island of Bawean. If you want to visit Bawean Island, Gresik, East Java, you can choose the air route or the sea route. If you choose the air route, you can take a departure from Surabaya City or Sumeneb Regency, Madura. Meanwhile, to access the sea route, you can go through Gresik Port and Paciran, Lamongan Regency. The speedboat departure schedule for a 3-hour trip to Bawean Island starts at 9 AM. When the departure time arrives, passengers are immediately guided into the ship. We choose Express Bahari because it is more comfortable, safe, and adequate facilities. Seating booking system, so you can definitely get a seat. Executive ticket only 165,000 rupiah, white seating and full AC room. Occasionally go out of the ship while enjoying the wind and the blue ocean in the middle of the Java Sea. Exactly at 2 PM, we arrive at the port of Sangkapura, Bawean. Blue ocean with super clear sea water, as if to greet you in a friendly manner. The cool wind, the air is so clean and free of pollution, and the sea water is so clear it is very pleasing to the eyes. Also people who pick up their relatives who return from various regions in Indonesia. Upon arrival, the officer carried out a health protocol by providing hand sanitizer and checking the temperature at the port gate. At the same time, there was a Gresik Regency visit to inaugurate the Damri public transportation fleet that connected two sub-districts, namely Sangkapura and Tambak sub-districts. Our group chose to stay at the Oxys Fisheries Lodging Guest House, which is safe, comfortable, and has a beautiful offshore view with various facilities. The homestay is also close to the famous restaurant in Bawean, with the main menu of grilled fish, namely the Sapentana restaurant. For a moment, we enjoyed the scenery around the Bawean Fishing Port installation. The purpose of the construction of the Bawean Coastal Fishing Port installation, IPPP, in 1975-1976 was so that the large fishery potential in Bawean could be utilized more optimally and rationally, so as to accelerate regional progress. While the targets to be achieved are as follows: improve port facilities in accordance with the master plan, increasing the active role of public services for port facility service users as an information center for fisheries and marine resources, with the hope that sustainability in Bawean is maintained, facilitating the role of local and non-local investors who will develop businesses at the Bawean Coastal Fishing Port installation. In 2020, the production of the Bawean Coastal Fishing Port installation in Gresik Regency has increased. This was also accompanied by an increase in tuna production, the mascot of IPPP Bawean. According to the head of the Department of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries DKP of East Java, Insinyur Muhammad Gunawan Saleh, through the head of the capture division, Insinyur Miftahul Arifin, explained to the media crew a few moments ago that previously in 2019, the total production volume until the second quarter of IPPP Bawean reached 1,048,650 kg. That is 465,550 kg in the first quarter and 583,210 kg in the second quarter. While in the first quarter of 2020, it reached 534,965 kg. In the second quarter, it reached 599,620 kg. Bawean Island is one of the small islands in the middle of the Java Sea, which is 80 miles from Gresik Regency. Administratively, Bawean Island consists of two sub-districts, namely Sangkapura and Tambak sub-districts. Bawean consists of several tribes in Indonesia: Madura, Java, Sumatra, Kalimantan, and Sulawesi. The language used in daily communication is the Bawean language. Although it is a bit remote, 120 km from Java or Gresik Island, via the deep sea and big waves, the life of the Bawean people is classified as an advanced, dynamic, and highly mobile society. This is indicated by the large number of Bawean children who go to school outside Bawean Island and with a high level of education. Like most of the rural population in Indonesia, which is an agrarian country, residents of villages adjacent to the Bawean Islands wildlife reserve area mostly make a living in agriculture, which is carried out in rice fields and dry fields. Fishing is the most important livelihood for the Bawean people. Very few fishermen there use large motorized boats for use modern equipment. We can meet small boats called jukung, each containing 1 to 2 fishermen at the same time on the Bawean beach during the tuna season. There are also people who use sailboats that are large enough to catch fish using nets, and is the main prey for fishermen are small fish called bingkul. Besides being able to be sold in a state of fresh fish, there are also those who process it into dried fish or pindang fish, which are neatly arranged in clay pots. Trade is also one of the livelihoods of Bawean people, both small and large traders. The existence of cargo ships that stop by every day to the island of Bawean is one of the factors that can increase the trade sector in this area. The market as trading center has been widely found, although it is still traditional, with a lot of merchandise imported from Gresik Regency. Tourism potential is something that can be developed into a tourist attraction. In our observation, the tourism potential is divided into 3 kinds. Those are natural potential, cultural potential, and human potential. First, natural potential. What is meant by natural potential is the condition and the type of flora and fauna of an area. The landscape of an area, for example beaches, forests, etc. The physical condition of an area. The advantages and uniqueness of nature if it is developed by taking into account the state of the surrounding environment will undoubtedly attract tourists to visit the object. Second, cultural potential. What is meant by cultural potential is all the results of human creativity, taste, and initiative in the form of customs, handicrafts, arts, historical heritage of ancestors in the form of buildings, monuments, etc. Third, human potential. Humans also have potential that can be used as a tourist attraction through dance performance or cultural arts performance of an area. Bawean Island has quite a variety of cultural potentials and unspoiled natural potential that can attract tourists. It is undeniable that Indonesia's marine area reaches 75.3% of the total territory of the Republic of Indonesia. Within this marine area, there are very varied potential resources, both biological and non-biological. The potential of marine resources as a whole includes fishery resources, oil and gas, environmental services, maritime tourism, and sea transportation. If all these marine potentials are managed properly, it is estimated that 85% of the Indonesian economy is highly dependent on marine resources. However, It is very unfortunate that Indonesia's economic development paradigm is still land-based, whereas historical facts have proven that the glory of the Majapahit and Sriwijaya kingdoms was the triumph of the maritime state kingdom that relied on national economic resilience through port centers and sea trade routes, which implies the people are able to develop food potential independently for their welfare. This tragedy of understanding the mainland is very likely to cause poverty, unemployment, and food crisis to increase in various remote areas, especially coastal communities, fishermen. The vision of building a marine-based Indonesian economy to restore the glory of this maritime nation became philosophy of the founding of the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries in 1999 under the mandate of President Kiai Haji Abdurrahman Wahid. In its development over a period of 11 years, the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, which is the forerunner of Indonesia's economic development locomotive, has remained consistent and collaborated with other courageous sectors in a Blue Revolution movement, namely changing the land-based development paradigm to a marine-based development paradigm. The Blue Revolution movement has issued a joint petition that becomes a platform for the change movement, namely to strengthen institutions and human resources in an integrated manner, manage marine and fishery resources in a sustainable manner, increase knowledge-based productivity and competitiveness, and expand access to domestic and international markets. The Blue Revolution movement platform has become the trademark vision and mission of the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries for the period 2010 to 2014 under the Master Dr. Fadil Muhammad through his vision to become the largest producer of marine and fishery products in the world by 2015, with a mission to prosperize the people of marine and fisheries. Changing the way of thinking paradigm of the Indonesian people from land to sea is like changing the culture or habits of the people, so that a civilization system is needed, and this takes time in the long term. It is very reasonable why the first platform in the Blue Revolution movement reads strengthening institution and human resources in an integrated manner, meaning that education and culture orientation becomes the locomotive of Indonesia's marine development. In other words, marine and fisheries education is considered the priority of the current movement, as well as a long-term investment to realize marine culture, whose main purpose is for the welfare of marine and fisheries fishermen community. It is a noble task if a marine and fisheries educational institution wants to realize nation civilization with a maritime culture. So it is necessary to create a special education system that is pro-poor, pro-professional, and pro-business. This system is being developed by the work unit of the Marine and Fisheries Human Resources Development Agency, Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries of the Republic of Indonesia, which has 12 marine and fisheries education units spread throughout the archipelago from Ledong, Aceh to Sorong, Papua. One of the samples of the study of the pro-education systems in this paper is the Pariaman State Secondary Fisheries Business School, SUPM. A good management cannot be separated from input, process, and output factors. Likewise, with education management at the Pariaman State SUPM, these three factors become the lowest point for the success of the teaching and learning process at this educational institution. The input factor is the acceptance selection of prospective students who are prioritized for children of the main fishery actors, fishermen, cultivators, and fish processors, who excel and mostly come from poor families. Pro-poor. Fishermen's families can apply directly to schools or can be proposed by fishery community institutions such as the All Indonesian Fishermen Association (HNSI), or also through the local fisheries service as local sons who will be educated with state budget subsidies through the Pariaman State. In essence, This input process means that every citizen has the right to proper education and teaching so that when they graduate, awareness will grow back to their area to generate marine and fishery economic potential. The word Bawean comes from Sanskrit, which means there is sunlight. In addition, Bawean Island is also often referred to as Putri Island. Named Pulau Putri because according to legend, it is a tribute to the princess of the kingdom of Champa, who died and was buried on this island. Our next trip and our group will go to the island of Gili, Noko. Noko Island is a small island which is 4.5 km from Bawean Island. Noko Island has a beautiful underwater scenery. Visitors can see many colorful sponges and sea fish. The marine reef park located on the beach makes it easy for visitors to snorkel. To enjoy this sea view, visitors must prepare snorkeling equipment and underwater cameras. Not only that, this beach also offers a beautiful view of the sunset. For tourists who like to swim on this island, there are also snorkeling spots that are a pity to miss. From Bawean Islands to Gili Noka Island, visitors must take a boat for 10 minutes. The boat rental fee is 250,000 to 350,000 round trip for 10 people. The price is still negotiable by visitors. On this island, visitors can watch the sunrise and sunset, which is very stunning. In addition, visitors can also do snorkeling. Gili Noko Island has white sand and clear sea water. On Gili Noko Island, there are snack vendors and coconut sellers. For public facilities, toilets are available. When we arrived on Gili Island, the people welcomed us warmly. The Hadroh and Bawean Pencaksilat parades are cultural heritages from the time of our ancestors, which are usually staged at weddings and certain events. Tourist village concept. A tourist village is a form of integration between attractions, accommodations, and supporting facilities that are presented in a structure of community life that is integrated with applicable procedures and traditions. Tourism village is a rural area that has certain characteristics which then have the potential to be developed to attract visitors. The characteristics of the village are processed and packaged more attractively to become a tourist destination. Rural tourism is actually a form of special interest tourism that is packaged comprehensively so that tourists can interact completely both with the natural environment and with the surrounding community, including the culture and traditions in it. Culture is the essence of national life. Knowing the nation's culture means knowing its aspiration in all aspects of life. While tourism is an activity that directly touches and involves the community so that it has various impacts on the local community. The principle of developing a tourist village is as one of the alternative tourism products that can provide impetus for sustainable rural development and has management principles, including: first, take advantage of local community facilities and infrastructure.
Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.
Itu masalah guru-guru di sini. Di sini tuh banyak guru-guru gaji yang belum merasakan dana bantuan dari pemerintah Gresik. Kalau bisa Bu, kalau bisa Pak, tolong. Guru-guru adalah penyalur ilmu untuk anak-anak kita. Walaupun itu cuma ilmu agama, tolong kasihkan dia. Walaupun tak seberapa besar, dia merasakan juga bantuan dari pemerintah Gresik. Guru-guru ngaji. Tuh. Nah, jadi maksud kami di sini kemarin Bapak yang ketika menyalurkan diri, saya berjanji kalau saya jadi maka insentif untuk guru-guru itu akan saya jadikan seperti waktu zamannya Pak Rubah Maksum. Jadi tolong saran saya, tolong direalisasikan janji beliau itu. Sekian, terima kasih dari kami.
Second, benefit the local community. Third, small scale to facilitate the establishment of reciprocal relationships with the local community. Fourth, implementing the development of rural tourism products and some of the underlying criteria with the potentials and culture mentioned above. I thought to make a model of tourist village. Why should it be a tourist village? Because what I want to highlight is the unique Bawean culture and as a giver of identity for tourism. Gresik Regency as a tourism center in East Java, which can be enjoyed by local and foreign tourists who want to know about the traditional culture of the island of Bawean. Therefore, the concept of this tourist village can preserve the original cultural art of Bawean Island, pencak silat, and the art of kerancengan. Develop the community as a tour guide interpreter, introducing food and craft on Bawean Island. Develop all house facilities into lodging, homestay. Carry out traditional activities, plan tourism events, introduce Bawean deer. Care for the environment by planting fruit trees, mangrove trees, or local trees that live on Bawean Island. In addition to various uniqueness, the tourist village area must also have various facilities to support it as a tourist destination. These various facilities will make it easier for visitors to tourist villages to carry out tourism activities. The facilities that should be owned by the tourist village area include transportation, telecommunications, health, and accommodation facilities. Especially for transportation, it must be noted that sea travel from Gresik Regency to Bawean Island is a ship that is able to serve tourists well in terms of safety. Perhaps the current obstacle is transportation, which is sometimes interrupted when the weather is bad. And until now, the Gresik government, especially the Gresik Transportation Service, must immediately respond and provide good transportation so that services can run well. For accommodation facilities, tourist villages provide lodging facilities in the form of tourist lodges, homestays, so that visitors can also feel the village atmosphere with pristine culture. Thus, the existence of a tourist village on Bawean Island will improve the economy of the community, and now they can rent out their houses for temporary lodging, homestay, make handicrafts from pandan mats, make special foods that are well packaged for souvenirs, and much more, depending on the concept that we will create and what packages will be offered. That's the fishery tourism workpacker to the very beautiful islands of Bawean. May be useful and increase our knowledge about maritime affairs. Stay healthy and